No.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Michael Lazaroff. I am the Executive Director of Signature Cruise Experiences, and I want to thank you for joining us today on our live stream. Everyone who is on this are people who have been following our cruises. They're on our mailing list, and yet they haven't sailed yet. So, as I wrote to you guys early on, we've been pen pals for a long time. Some people for as much as 8 years. And we're excited because we want people to follow the cruises, and we totally understand that it is pretty interesting just to follow the cruises, but we want to talk to you about sailing because the one thing that is absolutely the truth is that you really don't know what one of these cruises is until you have sailed. The number of first time guests that walk up to us and say, I had no idea that it would be like this. And really what they're talking about is the scale of the music, the amount, the amount of the music, the enthusiasm of the guests, just how busy everything is, and really how much fun it is. And for those who are on the call who have never been on a theme cruise of any kind, but you may have cruised, there's just something different about being on a cruise when everybody's there for the same purpose. There is such a community and a commonality of purpose, and you don't have to guess what the other person is thinking because they're there for the same reason that you are. So I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes bringing you up to date about Signature Cruise Experiences. And first, we're going to flip to the getting to know Signature Cruise Experiences. For over 25 years, we've been the gold standard for entertainment at sea. Why do I say that? We've done more than 100 full ship charter cruises since 2001. More than 200,000 guests have sailed with us. And this is the one number that always sticks out for me. More than 24,000 guests have sailed with us four or more times. 24,000 guests have not only come back, but they've come back again, and they have come back again four times. And we have people have sailed with us 20 times, 30 times, and we have a whole bunch of people who have sailed with us 10 times. We build luxury cruise vacations entirely around world-class entertainment. One of the things that motivates us and directs all of our efforts is our belief that every music genre as a cruise should have a high-end alternative. And that's what we are. And by high end, we mean on a very nice ship, first class production, sound lights, and top talent. If you look at our talent, and I'm going to walk you through some of the upcoming cruises, our talent is current. Our talent is the best. We don't do shadow bands. We don't do people that are tribute bands. We do the real people for all of our cruises. It costs us more. Our cruises cost more, but it is absolutely worth it. You're going to get an experience on our cruises that you can't possibly get on another cruise, and more importantly, that you can't get on land. We have more live performances than any cruise experience anywhere. And we are dedicated to maintaining the gold standard for entertainment at sea. When we have to make a decision about anything that relates to the cruise, there's only one question that is ever asked, and that is what is best for the cruise and for the guests. And that is what motivates us. If it costs us more, if it takes more energy, if it takes more time, That doesn't matter. We do at all times, we choose what is best for the cruise. What makes us different? The entire ship is chartered just for our guests. Um, there are many theme cruises out there. Most are groups, meaning they're about half the ship, maybe even less than half the ship, and that means that you're on somebody else's cruise and somebody is on your cruise. The full ship charter gives us the opportunity to schedule events how we want. It gives us the opportunity to use all of the systems on the ship just for our guests. All of our communications of the central music is always themed relative to the cruise theme, and everybody's there for the same reason. And that is just unbelievably cool. On our cruises, most of the artists stay on board. Yes, we do have some that come on and off, and that's usually larger groups or a particular artist who has a really busy schedule. Multiple performances from every artist, intimate venues, and smaller audiences. You're going to see people performing in a 1,000-seat venue that normally perform in arenas. You're going to have an experience, an interaction with them that you can't possibly get on land. Access to artist events, you don't get anywhere else. They're on the ship. You're going to bump into them. You're going to be able to talk to them. And they're having a good time because quite frankly, they like mingling with the guests and they also like mingling with their fellow artists. Most of these most of these performers really never get to talk to their fellow performers, see their acts because they are like ships passing in the night, not to use the uh, a cruise analogy too much. And the other thing that makes a difference is our cruises are a community that guests keep coming back year after year. So many friendships, so many relationships have been built among the guests on the ship. So many guests who met people on the ship and now travel with them on other trips, and they can't wait to see them whether it is only once a year when they're on the cruise or or at various concerts. The community of cruisers is vast, and the artists tell us about this all the time. They will tell us that they played at the so and so arena, and there were a whole bunch of cruisers there. People that came up, I saw you on the cruise. Thank you for being on the cruise. It's an association that is fun and healthy and just makes the experience so much better. What does a day on board look like? What you see here is our app, which every guest has access to. You'll be able on your phone to know everything that is going on every day. But we also have um, a daily program that has all the events. The real reason to look at the daily program right now is just to see the volume. There is something going on at all times. And that is important to us. We spend hours. I know that a group of our folks spent at least a couple hours working on Journey of Jazz 27 this afternoon. And they will do that probably 5, 6, 7 times, going over every single minute of every single day over and over again to make sure that everything is done the way that it is supposed to, and that all guests have a equal shot at all the events. And we divide all of our events into three types. In concert, that means it's music. That means it's live music by one of our performers. Learn. That could be a panel discussion. That could be a master class. That could be lots of different things, and usually these involve the artists as well, but they're not necessarily playing music. It is not a concert. And then enjoy. We have a whole bunch of events that are just simply fun. Wine tastings and pool games, ping pong, all kinds of things that you would normally associate with a cruise. The only difference is here, there's always some type of music or artist tinge to it. So the events include a morning coffee talks. They're informal. We do them every single morning. Artist interviews. We usually have artists interview other artists, which is a really cool. We have our own fitness instructors. There is pickleball on the ship. When we're at sea, we have a full schedule of a daytime concerts throughout the ship, multiple venues. And then we have game shows, trivia, dance classes, artist-led master classes, artist-hosted events and tastings. And of course, the nightly main shows. Every night on on all of our cruises, we have a nightly main show. um, Half of the people go to the first show, half of the people go to the second show. While the others are at the show, the other people have dinner. The only difference would be the jazz cruise, which has that format for two of the nights, but the other nights it is done more festival style rather than main shows. There are shows throughout the ship at all times. And that's really to reflect the nature of how straight ahead jazz is presented. It is less of an event main show than it is being in a jazz club, having that intimate feel. And then cruising after dark on the shows where we do have the main shows around 10:30, every single guest has already dined and seen the main show. And then we open up the ship for all kinds of things: dancing, music, comedy. There's something going on in almost every corner of the ship. And that's where we really shine, creating that cruising after dark feel where you feel like every night is a night on the town. Why do people keep coming back? More than 24,000 have sailed with us four or more times. Over 600 guests have sailed with us 10 times. Once people come, they come back because it is such a great experience. They love being on the ship. They love being with their fellow passengers. They love the music. And they start to feel like the cruise is theirs. I love when a guest comes up to us and says, "Where are we going next year? Who are we going to have perform next year?" That's how that's when I know that a particular cruise program has achieved what it is supposed to. And we have our signature circle program. You sail with us once, and you are a member of the signature circle. Then your benefits and your rewards grow as the number of cruises that you do grow. And so after you've sailed once, you will have benefits that are available to you for your second sailing. And then if you sail twice, you then have another set of benefits which would be available to you for your third sailing. And it doesn't have to be the same cruise. You can you can say you can sail on any of our programs, and that accrues to your benefits for being a Signature Circle member. Okay, we're going to be launching more about that right after the 4th of July, because actually this program begins with our 27 cruises, and for those that have already booked a 27 cruise, which 62% of those cruises have been booked, then of those those benefits will automatically be applied. First time guest FAQs. Let's just run through a couple. These are the things that we hear all the time. I've never cruised before. Okay. Um, we take care of all of that. We have a very detailed get ready series of emails, webinars similar to what we are doing here, and a guest services team that will get you ready for the cruise. And when you're on the cruise, help you at every stop. We want we don't want our guests wasting time on the ship worrying about the logistics of the ship. We're gonna take care of that for you, and we want you just to have a good time. What is included in the price? The cruise fare includes your stateroom, all performances, artist interviews, parties, special events. It includes everything that's going to happen on that ship except for bottled beverages, things that you purchase, and a services that you sign up for. There is a specialty dining element. We have 5 or 6 beautiful specialty dinings where there is an upcharge. The upcharges are under $100. They're usually between $50 and $75 per person. And it's a great alternative to the dining, but the included dining is absolutely terrific. That is the main dining room, the Ocean View Cafe, and lots of other places to eat. Many guests go the entire week only dining on the included dining. Okay. What if I don't have someone to travel with? Many of our guests do travel solo. We offer single stateroom options and events, and we cater to solo travelers. We also at times are able to match you with someone, or at the very least introduce you to some people who may be looking for a roommate. Will I actually get to see the artist, or is this like a regular concert? It's not a regular concert. A regular concert, when the show's over, you go out the door, you get in your car, or you begin to walk home. That isn't the case here. The artists are staying, they're not catching a plane. They don't have another gig to perform except on the ship. You're going to see them, you're going to bump into them. You're also going to see them in very intimate and quiet um, circumstances, such as interviews, wine tasting, things like that. You're going to be able to interact with them in a way that you cannot do on land. Upcoming SCE cruise schedule. You think we have a few cruises coming up? We've got 2 in 26 coming up. That would be the Smooth Jazz Cruise and your Chris Bodie at Sea. The Smooth Jazz Cruise 26.3 is a fully reserved, and we do have some staterooms on a Chris Bodie at Sea. That is a West Coast itinerary. That cruise begins in Los Angeles. It then overnights in San Francisco, a full day in Victoria, and we wind up in Vancouver. When we're in San Francisco, we have a whole host of excursions that we have created. We did this last fall on our Journey of Jazz Cruise, and people loved it. We've got trips to Napa, to wineries, to Sonoma. We have the Napa Valley Wine Train. We have a special Branford Marsalis concert at SF Jazz. We have a top-notch culinary tour of San Francisco. Oh my goodness, we have a special guest who just joined us who is in Europe right now. And I'm going to let him talk, but I'm going to introduce him first. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Miller is here. Marcus is Marcus is the host of almost every cruise we have, but it is it is 50 or 60 cruises. He's the
Woo!
best. He is the host of Journey of Jazz, the host of the Smooth Jazz Cruise. He actually created Journey of Jazz because it is about the history of jazz. So, Marcus, tell us where are you right now?
Well, right now, we're in Montreal. We're headed to Europe
Okay.
tomorrow to start a 5 week tour. This is Miles Davis's seventh centennial heavenly birthday. So, of course, we've been spending a lot of the year celebrating Miles. And I put together the band who played with Miles when I was in the band back in 19 blah blah blah. Actually, I'm not even ashamed of the date. It was 1981. So I put the band back together, and we're doing the Montreal Jazz, beautiful jazz festival. Then we're going to Europe. We're starting in Istanbul, Turkey, and we're gonna go one nighters all across Europe. So we're looking forward to having a great time. But when I get back, I'm really excited, man, because this journey of jazz. I don't know how much Michael Lazaroff told you about Journey of Jazz, but I got this idea uh, a few years ago to see if I could explain to the passengers who were cruising with us the entire history of jazz in an hour and 15 minutes. Now, a lot of the passengers are really knowledgeable about jazz, but a lot of the other passengers, they just walk around acting like they know what's going on, even though they really don't understand a lot of the stuff that was going on. So I decided to do something for them, and plus, for people who knew the history of jazz, there's always gaps in your knowledge, about a certain period of jazz. Anyway, an hour and 15 minutes, which of course is impossible to tell the story, the whole history of jazz in an hour and 15 minutes. But that's what made it fun because I was just playing like 20 seconds of each style and talking about the mentality and talking about the characters involved in creating these different styles. I finished, came off the stage, people had such an amazing time. They wanted to know, when can we see that again? When can we experience that again? Because I had the musicians, these great musicians on the stage, and they can play any style. So you just watch these incredible musicians going from Dixieland all the way to avant-garde in the 1960s. It was great. Michael Lazaroff says we have to make a cruise based on that. So Journey of Jazz is what we named it. And we've just got some incredible musicians. Gregory Porter is my co-host, and we do a history of jazz segment, but we just have the whole history displayed on the cruise every night. It's beautiful. The last time we did it, we had such a wonderful time. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think this is like the perfect mix of all the styles of jazz.
And we're going to New Orleans,
Mm.
and who who are we going to be seeing down there?
Well, I heard Branford's name. We're going to have Wynton Marsalis, of course,
Yes.
who's just incredible. And we've had Wynton on the cruise before, but this time, we wanted to take more advantage once we realized that he was really eager to
Yeah.
participate in cruises. In general, these cruises, the first couple of years, I don't know, Michael, 15 years ago, I had to convince the musicians to come on the cruise. Some of them were frightened about the idea of being on a ship. Some of them had other things to do. But once the word got out, now I have to turn my phone off because all these great musicians are calling me, man, when's the next cruise, man? I had such a good time. Herbie Hancock, man, we had McCoy Tyner when he was still with us. We've had Ramsey Lewis, we've had George Duke, we've had David Sanborn. It's a really great experience. And once I get the musicians on the ship, they realize and they become converts. So to have Wynton Marsalis on this cruise is incredible. And when we get to New Orleans, he's going to be like our official tour guide to show us what's really going on in New Orleans. So super excited.
And and we're going to keep the thing going. Letticy, who is one of the
Mm.
stars of the world, she is going to do a tribute to Dinah Washington, a John
Woo!
Pizzarelli. is going to do a tribute to a Duke Ellington. I mean, it is the kind of jazz education that you would like. There are no tests, there are no books. You just you just have to listen and pay attention.
It's good medicine. It's good medicine.
Yeah, so we're great. That was interesting what you said, and I'm gonna let you go. The artists really do like being on the cruise, don't they?
Oh, I'll tell you, so many collaboration albums
Yes.
have come as a result of this cruise. Um, because we're musicians, we're always traveling. We see each other in the airports. Oh, where you headed? Well, I'm going to the Caribbean. Oh, okay, I'm going to Montreal, right? Or we see each other in hotel lobbies. Oh, what time do you go on? Like that. But to spend an entire week amongst each other, and there's so much mutual respect, the audience is in their seats. They're enjoying the show, and the musicians are all backstage checking each other out, being inspired. So you guys get the benefit of seeing musicians giving their best because they're not only playing for you, they're playing
Yep.
for their peers, so they have to make sure they come with it. So it's really a great
I'm
situation.
I'm gonna tell you guys two quick stories. One of the great jazz albums of all time, Double Vision, which Marcus was instrumental in creating. The first time that it was ever performed live was on our cruise, and it was like 20 years after the
Mm-hmm.
album was released.
Right.
Next, one of the great duets ever, Michael McDonald and Patti LaBelle, On My
Mm,
Own. The first time they ever sang it together.
mm.
They didn't even record it together. The first time they ever sang it together was
Right.
on our cruise. It's
Right. They
just,
Michael did his part, and then Patty sang her part in wherever she was. Michael was in L.A., she was in Philly, and so the song was incredible. But they had never sang face to face until one of our cruises, and everyone was excited, especially them.
I'm not even sure how many times they even met each other.
That's absolutely true. And
But
then I'm sorry, one more story. Um, Take Six.
oh
I've
yeah.
had the honor of working with Take Six and producing Take Six albums. And I know for a fact that one of the members of Take Six, Claude, is a huge, huge Michael McDonald fan. Huge. When we would be recording, every time we're in between takes, he's doing his Michael McDonald imitation all day long, right? So now we're on the cruise, and Michael McDonald is our special guest. And we also have Take Six. So I say to Claude when I see him in the hallway, man, would you all like to sing background for Michael McDonald? And Claude goes, yes. I said, well, I'm sure you have to talk to the other five members of Take Six. He said, no, don't worry about that. I'll convince them. Okay, we're doing it. And man, we ended up backstage because we had to put it together quickly. Take Six singing background with Michael McDonald in the dressing room. It was the most amazing thing. All the other musicians are standing there with their mouths open because it was such a beautiful thing. And Claude, he's still on a cloud. The thing happened 2 years ago. He's still on a cloud from having sung with Michael McDonald. Those are the kind of things that happen on these cruises.
And Michael McDonald was in heaven because he
Oh
had a
yeah.
band behind him that was led by Marcus Miller. I mean, he afterwards he walked up to me and he says, God, I wish I could afford that band. It was, but
And then he
these are
had
things
background singers, so it was incredible.
exactly. But these are things that can only happen on the cruise. It's you will see configurations on stage just because the guys are there and they get in the mood. And one of my one of my lines is always is as long as their agents and managers don't see all the shows that they're doing, we're okay. Because if they did, we'd be in trouble.
Right, right. They would certainly put the kibosh on it, but left to our own devices, we just love playing with each other. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Now you all can see why Marcus Miller is the number one host glue for everything that we do. He is the most special musician that I've ever met. That's for sure.
Uh,
And I'm gonna let him go back to Montreal, and And
Thank you.
yeah, and I am sure that he is getting ready to entertain some of our Montreal guests
Oh
in
yeah.
particular.
Oh yeah. We have some special guests from the cruise who are absolutely probably outside right now waiting for me to show up.
Marcus, thanks so much. Thank
All
you,
right,
thank you,
guys. All
thank you.
right, everybody. I hope to see
Be
you
good.
soon. All right, bye-bye.
Isn't he the best? Okay. So these are all of our cruise programs. We are back on this. Yeah. And Marcus is also the host of the A Smooth Jazz Cruise, which is sailing on September the 11th. Um, David Foster, the Hitman Cruise. Everyone knows who David Foster is. Um, 16-time Grammy Award winner. Michael McDonald is on that cruise, along with Leslie Odom Jr., Diane Reeves, his wife, Catherine McPhee. It's a 5-day cruise going out of, gosh, excuse me, going out of Tampa. And we did it for the first time last year, and it was amazing. I mean, David Foster is the real deal. He puts together a music show like like in nobody else. We have the Jazz Cruise, which is our straight ahead jazz cruise. That was our first cruise, first sailed in year 2001. It's been fully reserved every single time it's sailed. And Journey of Jazz, Marcus just talked about that. Then we have our two smooth jazz cruises. Top Shelf is our a country music cruise. That's a whole lot of fun. We have a great lineup. Yacht Rock has not been announced. You are the first people in the world to know that we are doing a Yacht Rock cruise. Bodie at Sea 4, that is the next edition of the Bodie cruise. And then we've got Smooth Jazz Cruise 27-3. Both of those two cruises will be um, going out of Canada. We've got 4 cruises coming up. We have 5 cruises coming up, but one of them, Smooth Jazz Cruise, is fully reserved. These 4 cruises, beginning tomorrow, if you go online, go through the booking process, and use the promo code 625, which is today's date, 625, you will be able to book one of those cruises at the lowest prices for the stateroom available that you select. The suites are all gone on all of them, but there are verandas, there are ocean views, there are inside staterooms, and it's a great way to learn about our programs. Again, Foster's 5, all of these, the first 3 cruises there go out of Tampa. They're in a 2027. Foster's 5 days, TJC, the Jazz Cruise is 7. Journey is also 7, goes to New Orleans. A Chris Bodie at Sea leaves from Los Angeles, like I said before, and that's unbelievably cool cruise that has one of the best adult contemporary music lineups ever. We have Elvis Costello, Boz Scaggs, Melody Gardot, and because that wasn't enough, we just added Josh Groban, believe it or not, a plus Chris and all of his band. That's going to be an amazing cruise, and it's going to stop in San Francisco overnight and be in Victoria. And so the 625 code applies to that cruise too. Again, that begins tomorrow and it will end around July 15th, being able to use the code 625. If you all have any questions about our cruises, email us. You can email me, Michael, at scecruises.com. Michael at scecruises.com. You all are on this cruise. I mean, on this live stream because you're on the mailing list for the Weekender, and for Jazz Notes. And my email address is always right under the hour take. So if you did not write it down now, you can always get it there, but it's Michael at scecruises.com. We'd love to see you on the cruise. We've been pen pals, like I said. We'd like to meet you, and you will have the best time, that I promise you. Thank you for your time today. Please have a wonderful 4th of July holiday. Be safe, have a good time though, and hopefully we will see you on the ship. Thank you.